Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Tuesday night, March the 18th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I have so much to talk about between the big Canucks win, my our donations to Canucks for Kids, my massive bowling night, just massive. So let's get into it. And this is the shortest show of the week because I have to end the show within 40 or 45 minutes because I got to be sitting in the chapel at my church by midnight. So moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thank you for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, lower mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. No, Victor, it wasn't canceled. I ended it because it was too easy. Everyone was picking Brock Besser. So then I switched the poll, and this poll is even more lopsided than the first one. So no, the poll wasn't canceled. I just ended it a little early. So thank you for being here. Like I said, no matter where you're watching from, I'm hyper. I'm in a good mood, but I will try and be controlled in my enthusiasm. But this show does have to move quickly because I can only go for 40 or 45 minutes. But you can still get involved in this way. And yes, I agree with Adrian. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified on my videos. You can like the video, like the fact that the Canucks won 6-2, like the fact that they pumped 3 goals behind Connor Hellebuyck in the first period for the first time this season that's ever happened. Like the fact that if we meet Winnipeg in the first round, we're going to clobber them. I'm just kidding. Like the fact that we had to win tonight because St. Louis and Calgary all won tonight. But like the fact that we are still the second wild card position holder. Like the fact that Canucks for Kids Telethon was tonight. Like the fact that Brock Besser had 3 points. Like the fact that Hughes had 2 and Suter had 2. Hoglander had 2. And like the fact that I averaged 194 in bowling today. I'll get to that in a second. And like the fact that we continue to build an amazing Canucks community here on YouTube. Okay. Adrian says Canucks for Kids Telethon. Huge Canucks victory. I might add Clay's good bowling and Clay's good looks. What a feel-good night all around. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. I know you guys are feeling good tonight, so you can leave a donation. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast app or platform, make sure you rate and review. Okay, very quickly, bowling. It was my best night in league ever. Hey, hot take, you're here just to hear me talk about bowling for the next 2 minutes. I bowled 177, 194, 171, and 234. 234 is my 5th highest game in history. 234 game, if you want to know what that sounds like. 9 spare, 9 spare. Strike, strike, strike. 8 spare, 9 spare. Strike, strike, strike. 9 dash. So if I didn't miss my spare in the 10th, the second part of the 10th, I would have had 235. Could have actually had 245 or 255. But that average of 194, total of 776. That's my best ever in league. That I won 8 out of 10 points. My opponent beat me 1 game. My leadoff had 8 points. My anchor had 10. So that's 26 out of 30 individual points. And we won all 4 games plus total. So we took 46 out of 50 points tonight. 46 out of 50 points. So if I had a longer show or if the Canucks lost, I would spend more time talking about my bowling, well, how good I was tonight. It sounds like I'm being cocky because I am. I never do that well. And there's some little, we call it pools or side betting that goes on every week as well. So I won a couple $100 in that as well. So very good night. I don't bowl for the money, and I'm sure I've lost more than I've won, but it's nice to be rewarded once in a while. But that $200 went to Canucks for Kids because I did this with tonight's game. I was going to do this after my recap, but I'm going to show it to you first. Now, everyone has different financial means and ways. But I wanted to donate something. I always donate to Canucks for Kids. So this is what I said tonight. I said, for tonight's Canucks game in support of Canucks for Kids, I'll be donating $10 for every Quinn Hughes point, $20 for every Canucks goal, $20 for being good looking. That's a given. $25 for the Canucks win, if the Canucks win, and $50 if the Canucks win by 4-2, my favorite score. So even if the Canucks got shut out, I would still do at least a $20 donation for being good looking. But instead, it was $185. With tonight's big 6-2 Canucks win, I will happily donate $185 to Canucks for Kids. $25 for the win, $120 for 6 Canucks goals. Yeah, they scored one with like 2 seconds left and then an empty netter with 2 seconds left. So there's extra $40 there, which is fine. Hughes had 2 assists. I saw you guys talking about maybe he should have got a third assist. So $20 for 2 Hughes assists and $20 for being good looking. It all adds up to $185. I was very happy to donate that to the Canucks for Kids. Okay. So if you were among the many people who actually donated as well tonight, thank you for doing that, for your generosity. And I think it was a good night all around. People are in a good mood. Speaking of which, Mark, guys, you're welcome. I benched Bester in fantasy this week, which meant that well, thank you. Thank you, Mark, for taking one for the team. I'll be joining Mark on Thursday night after this. Every game's massive now. After this massive Vancouver-St. Louis game on Thursday night, join us for Game Over Vancouver on the Game Over Vancouver channel. Somi Shows, I love this, gets the donation train out of the station. Just got home from the game. The atmosphere was buzzing and spirits were high. Canucks could be peaking at the right time. Awesome. I'm so happy for everyone was at the game. I know Kyle was at the game. Harry was at the game. So many shows you at the game. Everyone I sold tickets to was at the game. I finagled. Basically, I traded with, I think you guys know in one section, I have seats 1 and 2 and 5 and 6. I traded with the guy in 3 and 4 to get all 6 in a row. And I sent my good friend Vidal and his Winnipeg buddies to the game. Hopefully they're cheering for Vancouver. But regardless, so many shows. Thank you. Thank you for the $5 donation. And thank you for getting the donation train out of the station. Let's give some love to Somi Shows in the chat. Yeah, I wish I was at the game. I wish, but I still commit to my bowling on Tuesday night. Good thing I did. Like I said, my best bowling night ever. And Wednesday night's my church night. So I can never go to games nor watch games on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Let's get to these goals now with the Sedge VC, the Clay Edge Go Visualizer commentary. And we are going to hope that my computer holds up. And let's go. I actually have not done my goal review yet because my bowling ended at 10. I picked up Kayla from a friend's house at 10:15, got home by 10:30, used the restroom, set up the stream, had to set up my camera because I took it to work. So I haven't even watched the highlights yet. I had the game on while I was bowling so I could see all the goals, but I couldn't hear any of the commentary. And then as soon as I'm done here, I got to get to my church. I'll get home by 10 after 1. I'll record my goal my goal breakdown because I still want to do it because there's so many nice goals tonight. And then that'll be up when you wake up tomorrow morning. Thank you, Swervin Yrvin. You do a really good job of balancing your priorities. By the way, you asked me a question back on Thursday, and I said I'd get back to you on Sunday. You said, what was the biggest lesson I learned in my 40s? I think I was forced, and I really tried to really seek first to understand before being understood. And I always, that's a common Stephen Covey tenet. But really, I promised you that I would answer you. But Swervin Yrvin, this is the first time I've seen you this week. That's the one thing I learned in my 40s is before I jump in with my opinion, before I want to share my wisdom, my knowledge, my insight, I have to make sure I do everything I can to understand the person I am walking with first. And I love this. Adrian's bathroom break is important. Kyle, you know. Adrian says Clay's day is just getting started. Oh, brother, you know me. That is awesome. Oh, the question was for Gail. Whoops. Well, I never asked her. So I will text her in the Philippines, and then we will get back to you for sure. I can already guess that she's going to say something like, the biggest lesson she learned in her 40s was that she's never going to change me. She's got to learn to love me, accept me, forgive me for who I am. And I do the same for her. And at this point, you know, we've been together for 31 years. No, since 89. That's really bad math. 21 plus. We've been together. What? No, 11 plus 4. Yeah, we've been together for about 35 years, married for 25 of them. And she would say that she wouldn't be able to change me. Everything isn't about you, brother. Man, tonight it is. Tonight it is. I'm telling you, tonight it is. Okay, enough about me. Let's get to this goal visualizer. The first goal, Drew O'Connor. Love this. Love this. So you see O'Connor to Carlson. Carlson gets it. He doesn't get an assist. Bluger, Hughes, across 3-on-2, one-timer, boom. Connor Hellebuyck, the only way you're going to beat him, I thought, it was going side to side, and they have him go side to side as opposed to straight on. And that's how they beat him just 5 minutes into the game. But then Nick Ehlers, this is one guy you probably want to check a little bit better. So they gain the zone here. And basically it's a pass from Nemestikov. And Marcus Persson gives him too much gap, does not close the gap, does not gap up, whatever. By the way, acronym for gap, God answers prayers, because I'm going to my prayer hour. So it doesn't gap up. And then it's 1-1. Nick Ehlers is someone you can't give that much space to. But then Brock Besser gets his first goal of the night. It's on the power play. So we got Hughes to Petey, loads it up back to Hughes. Oh, sorry, across to Lekkerimäki to Hughes, and then a beautiful deflection by Brock Besser in front of the net. Besser's a great at deflecting, great at rebounds. So that's where Besser goes to score his goals. Spoiler alert. I'm going pretty fast today because tonight's going to be a quicker show. Niels Höglander. I like this goal. This one's a beauty. This one's with 2 seconds left in the period. Three-way passing play. Besser, give and go. PD back to Besser. And across to Höglander. Like I said, less than 3 seconds left on the clock. Beautiful goal. You love those goals that come in the first minute of a period or the last minute. And the Canucks did that twice, although one of them didn't really matter. But this one mattered because it ended up being the game-winning goal. 3-1. 3-1. And Mark, he says, Clay in church. Z. You know me quite well, but I've been told that you're allowed to sleep in the chapel, not in mass, but in the chapel, because I'm resting in the spirit. That's exactly what I'm doing. The Winnipeg makes it a 1-goal game with an Alex Iafallo goal. And this one, there's some commentary about Lowry taking DPD's stick and throwing it away. And then, a bit of a scramble there, and Iafallo tucks it in off the Luke Shen with the point shot. I think Brandon Tanev got. This is the one goal I didn't see, actually. Brandon Tanev looks like got a stick in there, and I'll follow him. He scores, and now it's 3-2 Vancouver. But then Besser gets a second on the night. I like this one because remember I told you about going to the dirty areas and going to the goal and being around the front net. Marcus Persson puts a hard shot through. It's sitting in between Hellebuck's legs. That didn't sound right. And then Besser pokes it through Hellebuck's leg. That even sounds worse. But yes, Besser pokes it through for his second goal of the night. Awesome. And then it was 4-2. And I thought maybe, just maybe, the Canucks didn't score again. Then I would owe $50, and I would be happy to do so. But less than a minute later, Pius Shooter, remember I was the one who started that, not the Canucks, but it's okay. I'm over it. A really nice goal here. The puck goes in. You see DeBrus over to Sherwood, and then bam. There's a lot of Jets there, but he does a really quick pass, and Suter makes no mistake. And then there's no goal visualizer for Suter's empty netter, but 6-2. So they beat Chicago 6-2 on Saturday. They lose to Utah 3-1 on Sunday, but then they win again 6-2 tonight. Let's look at the stats. The shots on goal are pretty even. A lot of goals on Connor Hellebuyck for only 22 shots. Face-offs 55-45. Who cares? Power play, Canucks went 1 for 1, and they killed off the two Jets man advantages. One of them was an overlap of a 5-on-3 for about 10 seconds. Hits were relatively even. Block shots relatively even. So by stats, it was an even game. The only thing that wasn't even was the scoreboard, which I absolutely love. We look at the box score. We know the drill, you guys. Besser had 3 points. We had Pius Suter have 2 points. We had Niels Höglander had 2 points. Besser 3 points. Höglander 2, Suter 2. And then DeBrusk, Bluger, Sherwood, PD, Lekkerimäki, O'Connor all had 1 point. So that means the only forwards that didn't get a point were Joshua, Oman, and Carlson. The ice time was relatively spread out. No one peaked over 20 minutes, which was good. And looking at other stats real quick, the ones that stood out to me, Pius Shooter, lives up to his name. Had 5 shots on goal. You had Pettersson with 4 blocks. That's really impressive. You know, Pettersson only has a point, but it's fine. It's still a point. But he had a shot. Sorry, he had a shot, 4 blocks, and a hit. Good for him. Besser had 2 hits. Kiefer Sherwood had 6, of course. And Joshua had 8. So Joshua didn't factor in the scoreboard, but he had 8 hits, which is amazing. On D, Hughes with 2 assists. Maybe he's going to get a third one on the empty net goal. Marcus Pettersson with an assist. Then Lowman was DPD with 11 minutes. Hughes played 26 minutes, which is better than 28 or 30, I guess. And then when you look at it, block shots, Marcus Pettersson with 5 block shots. PD had 2, Myers had 2. And then shots on goal, not a lot from defensemen tonight. Not a lot of hits from defensemen. But overall, they played really well. They played really well. And the one thing that Rick Tocchet talked about after the game was how well they rushed. They were on the rush, how well they went through the neutral zone. And yeah, think the Hoglander goal is off a rush. Hoglander PD give and go. The Drew O'Connor goal was certainly off the rush. Then you had Besser's power play, Besser's other goal, and Pius Suter. Those were more, well, the Suter goal was at the end of a rush after they gained the zone. So you could say 3 of the 6 goals were off of rush plays, which is really, really good. And Lankinen was solid. I actually haven't seen the Iafallo goal, so I don't know if that was his fault, but the Nick Ehlers shot was a snipe for sure. Okay, remember, we're watching St. Louis, we're watching Utah, we're watching Calgary. Well, 3, and when you include us, 3 of the 4 teams won tonight. So who cares about the other? Although Montreal over Ottawa, that was a big game for the Eastern Conference. But the Flames do beat the Rangers 2-1. The Blues do beat the Predators 4-1. Remember, we're talking about the Blues having the easiest schedule. But at least Utah lost, and they lost bad, 7-1. And then we won 6-2. So you look at the standings, the Canucks are still in the playoff spot. 6 points behind the Wild. Let's not worry about that. So this is how tight it is. And actually, I'm going to put up my graphic one more time that I like to put up because it's changed ever so slightly. So the Canucks have 75 points in 68 games. St. Louis has 75 points in 69 games. So we still have the same number of points, but we have 1 fewer game played. Calgary, with their win, is 2 points behind with 1 game in hand, 73 and 67. And then Utah has 71 points in 68 games. So let's bring them all up to 69 games just because I like to kind of compare apples to apples. And just for the sake of argument, I'm going to presume that everyone wins their games in hand. So at 69 games, the Canucks, if they win, will have 70. See, this is why it doesn't really work because the Canucks are playing St. Louis. So technically, we know when Vancouver moves to 69 games, St. Louis is going to move to 70. But let's just work with me here. If the Canucks win their next game against St. Louis, the Canucks will have 77 in 69. St. Louis will have 75 in 69. If the Calgary Flames win their next 2 games, they will have 77 in 69. And then Utah will only have 73 in 69. So technically, and you can see by points percentage, technically Calgary is the bigger threat to us right now, but our game against St. Louis is going to be a massive, massive 4-point game. Now, remember yesterday or before, I was saying that if the playoff bar is 92 points, remember this was before we played tonight, so we had 15 games left. I said the Canucks would have to go 4 games over 500 in their final 15 games. So 19 points in 15 games. 19 minus 15 is 4. I said they would have to go 19 points in 15 games. So I was talking about 9-5-1 or 8-4-3. Well, the Canucks have won one of those wins. So now they need to go 3 games over 500, right? Because they won tonight. So that's 17 points in their final 14 games, again, to get to 92. How do I get to 92? Well, you take the whoever's in the final playoff spot right now, 551 points percentage. It's actually 90. 90 is if everyone still won at the same pace that they are doing right now, the playoff bar will be 90, but that seems a little low, so I say 92. So in the final 14 games, can the Canucks go 8-5-1? Because that's what it is now. Oh, actually, that's wrong. Yeah, no, that's right. 3 games over 500. 8-5-1 or 7-4-3. You guys, that's 7-4-3. That's actually 7 wins and 7 losses, right? Because those 3, they don't count in the 500 record, but they technically are losses, but you get a point. So the Canucks really only have to win half their games. When you look at it that way, 7 out of 14, I think it's doable. Yes, they have to play against Vegas twice, Colorado, Dallas. I know that's in there, and Minnesota. But we also have some weaker opponents as well. So I do think that they could go 7-7, but of those 7 losses, they need to pick up points in about 3 of them. So that was my poll question to you. 88% of you are saying, yes, I think the Canucks can do it. Okay, I went straight for about 15 to 16 minutes now. I will do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I will take your comments, your questions, just about what you thought about tonight and what you think about the Canucks playoff chances. So let's start off, as we always do, by thanking our primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay. Receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off of your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Appreciate you guys. And a reminder how you can get involved today. You can, wrong one. You can subscribe. You can like the video. You can leave a donation like Somi Shows has done. Thank you, Somi. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Finally, my shows this week, every night at 11 p.m., except last night was 11:15. So that means tomorrow night at 11 p.m. and then Thursday night at 11 p.m. That'll be a double duty night because I'll do Game Over with Mark and then I'll do my own show a little bit later in the evening. So I hope you can join me for both of those shows this week. Okay, friends, I got 20 minutes to go over some of your questions and your comments. So let's start now. Is tonight a foreshadowing of a round 1 upset? Well, yes. Whoever wildcard 2 is whoever gets in is gonna face Winnipeg. Yes, we might have won at home. I don't know if we're gonna win any games in Winnipeg though. So, but at least the Canucks should be confident that they can play with this team, and that's not always been the case in the past. Utah down to Outlaws and Mammoth. I did not know that. We are back for the 100th time. Jessica, I love it. I wanted you to come back and be in the open house last night. Hello, Gerald. Found it odd that Hughes did not come out for the 3rd star of the game. He just ghosted us. Is that normal? He might have had media. He might have had I hope it was an injury that he had to go get taken care of in the media room. I don't know why, medical room. I don't know why he did not come out. Canucks were flying. I love it. I love how hard they forechecked all night. Where was that all season? I know it would be easy to say, oh, I wish they did that all 82 games. That's a grind though. That's a lot. That's a lot of hitting. That's a lot of playing. But it's really nice to see when they do it, and especially against the best team in the league. Not being able to score against Utah one game and then you destroy the number 1 team and number 1 goalie. Which version are we getting next game? Oh, we need this version, a version closer to tonight, because every game is so important now. And yes, that was a good one. Dan used the Jets pun about flying. Every game's huge, Blazers fan. Do you think Demko gets back to proper form? I do. The fact that he was a full practice participant today was good. PD on a 5-game point streak with a helper to Hoggy Boy's goal. A small glimpse of 11.6. Yep. He's not 11.6 yet, but he's certainly a lot better than he was a month ago. And I think that's a good thing. Oh, sweet. You got a puck from Joshua. That's awesome. Based off Talk's interviews today, I feel like the players might have been too scared to mess up. Yeah. When talks, for the most part, they listen for sure. Blazers fan, right now, the Canucks are showing as about 18 million for next year. Actually, that's not completely accurate. Hold on. Let me look. I'm trying to see really quick cap projections. Right now, yeah, they're looking at $15 million of cap space. And that's with Besser, Suter, and Forbert coming off the books. And that includes the Ekman-Larsson penalty still. Brock was the first star. Hoggy did the interview. Good. That's fine. Do you think Suter and Besser hitting 20 goals in such a disappointing season will have the Canucks revisiting extension, or do you think both will walk as UFAs? I think Suter is as good as gone, as good as this season has been. I'm not sure if the Canucks pay him. Besser, I think it's still 50-50. Although as much as I like him, I'd be okay with seeing him leave. He told Besser to just play the game and don't be afraid. Love it. Love it. Do you know the coaches have agents to negotiate the contracts? They must. Talkett said he's focused on the team. Yeah, he said, JW, you're right. He said he's an all-in kind of guy, and he just wants to focus on getting the team to make the playoffs. The way he was talking, though, he didn't say, we'll get it done, or I'm confident we'll get it done. He just said, we'll talk about it after the season. So I'm not convinced that he's coming back. Hope Brock's found his mojo. We do not know how long Hito's going to be out. It sounds like Garland's day-to-day, hopefully. Swervin Yrvin saying, drop your grade for Pettersson's game. Okay, I better get to questions just so I don't fall behind after this. Based on how low points Canucks, Calgary, Utah, and the Blues have, I think the point bar could be even lower than 92. Yeah, Owen, for sure. And the extrapolated points percentage of 551 for the Canucks, who are in the final playoff spot, it is indeed 90. So could it be anywhere between 90, 91, and 92? Yeah, I don't know why anyone would be down on PD's game. He wasn't the most dominant forward, but I thought he had, granted, I didn't listen with sound, but I thought he had an okay game. And I saw the stat line of an assist, 4 block shots and a shot, and he would have the second assist, or the third assist on the Brock power play goal, because he was the one who passed it over to Lekaramaki. So I don't know. I know Sportsnet 650 said he had a decent game, not an amazing game, but a decent game. Should the Canucks shut down Demko for the rest of the season for his health? I doubt it, Fangirl. Just like they brought Quinn Hughes back. I didn't say they rushed him, but if they're trying to make the playoffs, I think they want Demko ready. If the original Jets did not go to Phoenix and did not trade Solani, do you think they would be as good as his current version? Oh, so hard to say. Great question, Filmer, but those kind of walking back down memory lane are kind of tough to answer, because you don't know if they have Solani. Does that mean they never got Korea, or does that mean that they had less money, more money? They would have gone in this direction. It's so hard to say, but it's tough for me to answer for sure. This current version of the Jets, though, is pretty darn strong. Suter's the latest Suter brother to hit 20 goals. Best game of the season. Hey, SGA. Need to find a right-hand centerman. That's fair. Tom Clayman, welcome back. Hope Talkett comes back. Jets are my second favorite team. Mine too. And I too am happy we crushed them. Yeah, Talkett's a UFA, but he doesn't count against the salary cap for sure. They just said Talkett said that Garland has been banged up from before the weekend, but he played those 2 games over the weekend. Favorite team is Canucks, second favorite team. Yeah, Canucks, and then Winnipeg's way down here, but they are my second favorite team. Yeah, Carlson's decent. He's ripping up in Abbey for sure. Yeah, if someone told me that there was going to be a mashup between Canucks and Grizzlies, I would have got excited. But I don't think, I love the Grizzlies, like retro and the colors and stuff, but I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the mashup. It's got to grow on me for sure. Yeah, I think Brock felt relieved for sure. Hey, Russell, say it with me, people. Hoglander is back. I will say it with you. Oh, LC, you were at the game too. That is awesome. I'm very happy for everyone who was at the game. Ever thought about doing a members-only Zoom chat during Canucks game where we can cheer together and chat during intermission? No, I have not thought about that before. Members-only Zoom chat during a game where we can cheer together and chat during. Not a bad idea, but I think, Fangirl, you know me as well as anyone. I do not like. I don't know. Russell's good at it. I don't like live streaming during the game, because in my humble opinion, it takes away from your enjoyment, but maybe I shouldn't judge for you. But it takes away from my enjoyment too, because I'm worried about the chat. I'm worried about interacting with fans, which I love doing, but I love doing after the game ends as opposed to during the game itself. Oh, Russell Holiday by Country Mile. Someone crocheted a shark for Garland. He was so happy. I did not know that. Whitecaps and Canucks mashup. Okay. Solani and Mogilny both had 76 goals in the same season. Crazy. Okay, I've caught up when it comes to questions. That's good. So I got 10 more minutes. D'Lo. Still in Toronto, D'Lo? Let's give D'Lo some love in the chat, and I'll give a good answer to this. So thank you, D'Lo, for the $2 donation. Let's give D'Lo some love in the chat. Says, what talk so long to reunite Besser and PD? I don't know the advanced stats, but I do know at least that they don't necessarily play well together. They've played a lot together over the years that they've been here, both in the organization. And Lotto Line had some success for sure, but they have not always clicked perfectly. So tonight was a great night. Other times they fail to generate because they're not the two fastest guys ever. So, but yeah, give them props for tonight, and we'll see how long. I think with the forwards that we have right now, you probably need to keep those two guys together because PD is really the only playmaker of all the centers that we have without Miller now. Natty, I will answer you honestly. I will always answer honestly. No, this playoff race does not stress me out at all. I feel 0% stress. I 100% want the Canucks to make it. I really do, because we saw today that when everything's going well, that they can play with the best teams. I don't know if they can beat Winnipeg in a 7-game series, but there's nothing like the feeling around the arena, around the city, even in my shows when the Canucks make the playoffs. So my honest answer is I'm 0% stressed. I'm 100% excited. Cena promo was really good. I think eventually he turns back to a good guy, though, before he officially retires. Yeah, I am fine with Russell to host something like that for sure. DeBrusk, Suter, Sherwood. Yeah, when I see it on paper, it's okay. Sherwood brings the speed. Suter is 20 goals. You can't argue with that. And DeBrusk is very streaky. DeBrusk also over 20 goals. So technically there's a lot of goals on this line, and Sherwood does the dirty work. I guess it's okay. It doesn't really pop out to me, but yeah, they combined for that fifth goal, which is good. Yeah, the playoff races are very excited for sure. Yeah, Russell, I didn't watch the whole game, so I don't know. I just look at the stat lines, but I think both had their moments, right? Bluger took that delay of game penalty, whatever. Maybe O'Connor if I had to pick, but admittedly, I didn't have the sound on, so I couldn't tell exactly how well they were playing for sure. I do like Cena's heel turn. I don't know if he beats Cody, though, but how do you not give him his 17th championship, right? Sarah, I've always maintained that I think that their relationship is just okay. I do think PD, scared might not be the right word, or intimidated, but I don't think it wasn't the same relationship that, like, say, Tocchet and Miller had, but I think they're still trying to figure each other out. And yeah, so I don't think the relationship contributed to PD's poor play. I actually think he was banged up for the first half of the season. I really do. But he looks faster. He looks more confident. I do think he was banged up. Can PD 20, what's he at? 16, 15 or 16? Maybe. Yeah, he can. Hey, Harry, great game tonight. Atmosphere is incredible. Awesome. Great Canucks win despite the Jets losing. Yeah, well, one team has to lose. Yeah, but I heard that it was really fun in the arena. If we played the Jets in a 7-game series, I think it's Jets in 6. I would love to say Canucks in 7, but I still think it's Jets in 6. I just don't see us winning in their arena a lot, and they could easily win one in Rogers. I'm sorry to hear that, Blazers fan. If you want to pop her name in the chat, I will pray for her during my adoration hour, or just know that I'll pray for the repose of her soul. Sherwood almost had a buzzer beater. Yeah, I'm not sure how much, if he knew he had more time. He probably could have skated in a couple more strides, but Hollingworth kind of just put it aside pretty easily. Yeah, more teams, but the West one's going to be fun too, Justin, for sure. What's our identity? That's a great question. But I think when Demko comes back and with a healthy roster, maybe we will start to forge an identity. The Hito injury is such a bad timing, though. Bring a spare hat. That's awesome. They're trying hard to give her the empty netter. Trying hard to give him the empty netter. I could see that. Yes, they saw a win. So the Chicago game, good. If you throw your hat, you can still get it back. I did not know that. I like how Tocchet separated Hughes and Hronek, though I think Hughes prefers Hronek. Yes, I agree. Oh, were they separated tonight? Francis, thank you. Thank you, Blazers fan. We'll pray. Bluger's play to drive the net was Keto O'Connor's goal. Okay. Veteran move. Yes. You always want to drive You always want to drive the lane to take away the defenseman, to potentially get in front of the goalie. And it really just, any type of movement is distracting for the goalie for sure. Still think Winnipeg comes out on top, but I know they're neck and neck. PD can just hit 20 just by playing on the line. Suitors being JS, if I give away playoff tickets, it might be just one pair. It's certainly not the best business decision, but I will have to talk to my sponsor, Jason Lim. Did I give away? I think we give away at least one pair, though, for sure, because Jay is very generous, and I think I am too. Yes, the recent tornado is scary. What is with the camera shot with the first star doing the autograph on what looks like the camera or glass? Yeah, they put probably a piece of glass in front of the lens, right? Throw an older hat and get a better hat in return. There's a funny story that Sean and his girlfriend Cheska were at a game in Encore. They were sitting with guys and a group of guys. After Sherwood had 2 goals, I think they put some money down on a Sherwood hat trick. They won a lot of money. Sherwood gets the hat trick, but they don't have a hat. So they bought Francesca's hat for $50 just to throw it on the ice. But Francesca had $50, so I guess she was okay with it. Hughes and Myers, DPD and Hronik. Gotcha. And then Forbert and Forbert and Marcus Pettersson? Interesting. D'Lo with another donation. I love it. D'Lo's calling the Nucks in 7 over Winnipeg as Hellebuyck has choked last 2 years. Overworked. That's true. Winnipeg is like the Toronto of the West. So thank you, D'Lo. Let's give some love to D'Lo in the chat. Gonna go for three or four more minutes. So let's get your thoughts in. You can do a score prediction for Canucks versus Blues. You can tell me if you think the Canucks are going to make playoffs. You can compliment me on my good looks. Where did that come from? I'm not sure. But yes, whatever you want to do, I'll read as many comments as I can for the next 3 or 4 minutes. Adrian says 3-2 Canucks on Thursday. Sky Training Alfred, I like this score of 4-2 Canucks. Toronto of the West. 4-3 Canucks in OT. Hellebuyck looked human. So nice to know we can actually score on the guy. Yeah, he's so good, right? He's so good. You know who else can score on him? I was trying to think of who had the winning goal in the Four Nations again? Was it McDavid? It was just a month ago. I know Mitch Marner set someone up. Was it McDavid? I know it wasn't Crosby. What's your prediction against the Blues since they were scoring a lot of goals? We're going to win. We're going to win 4-2. 4-2. Fangirl 4-3. 4-3 overtime. Canucks. 4-1 Canucks. Lemaire Mackey. Yeah, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how Rick Tocchet still calls him Letter Mackey? Letter Mackey. 3-1 Canucks. It was McDavid. Thank you. Better chance of winning. Binnington is in. Hofer's been good again. Yeah, I just love it when we light up Binnington. 5-2 Canucks. I like it, Shannon. I like it. Never heard of him. Who, Binnington or Hofer? McDavid. Thank you. 4-3 for the Canucks, says Tyler. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to do 2 minutes of Ask Me Anything. Just 2 minutes. So I'm going to go questions only for the last 2 minutes. And it can be anything that's not Canucks related, just because I want to do 2 more minutes to get to the 40-minute mark. All right. Any questions for me? Anything else? This is a very quick show, but it has to be on Tuesday nights. Got to get to my church. What kind of hats do hockey players wear? It sounds like the start of a joke. I don't know, Shannon. I don't know. Yeah, something a lot more stylish than me, though. You guys have seen when I wear a hat, I look like I'm 12 years old. So I don't know. Ball caps casually, then I rarely see them. I don't see a lot of Canucks wearing hats to the arena. I am drinking Sunny Delight. Yes, very, very, very healthy, I know. Don't have a Fanatics jersey yet. So Kyle, I'll have to go with Adidas, but it's not because I simply don't have a Fanatics one just yet. Oh, it was a joke. Salary caps. Very good, Shannon. I'll give that a 10 out of 10. Has life been easier or harder with Giveaway? Oh, it's definitely harder. We're spending a lot of money on food. Although Sean and Kayla can cook. Bed's lonely at night, admittedly, but at least I have Mickey. And doing a good job of communicating with Gail. It's only been 3 nights. But yeah, obviously would rather have her here with me. But things are a little easier in that I'm a little... Well, she'll say I'm independent already and that I can do whatever I want to anyway. So we'll save her. Maybe we'll get her on a show as soon as she gets back. No, I usually don't go to Whitecaps games. Blazers fan, I'm a fan, and I know they have a really, really good start. Definitely younger kids, older kids. These kids are independent. They can drive. They can go anywhere they want. Hardware store, I don't know. Rona, I'm not very good at that. Lightning round. I think Cody wins. I think Gunther wins. I think Rhea wins. Those are just some to start off. I have to look at the card actually. I think Drew McIntyre wins. Yeah, let's go with those so far. I think Roman wins over CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I cannot cook. I can, but I'm not very good, Sarah. No, who am I kidding? I suck. I shave my head every 3 weeks. Why don't I like wearing hats? Yes, because I'm 12 years old. Good night, Unpaved. If you were given a free pass to go to the moon, would you? Only if I was guaranteed that I would survive and come back. Beanies, that's the word I was looking for. I do not know anything about the Newfoundland Regiment logo. Sorry. My favorite jersey is my Flying Skate Hughes 50th. But then the Canucks gave me a new Flying Skate with Canuck Clay on the back, which is pretty cool. But I don't wear it to games because it looks a little bit, cocky. But I do wear it like at things like meetups and things like that for sure. Cement or concrete? I call it concrete. Do you cook when she is gone or just grab stuff? No, we grab stuff at places nicer than 7-Eleven, but it is getting expensive. Food court, sushi, Italian tomato, that kind of stuff. Had McDonald's today because they have a deal. McDonald's kind of like my Tuesday night bowling meal. Excited for the World Cup next year? Do you mean of soccer? I'll be interested, but I probably won't go to any games. No, I think as good as Quinn is, he's probably missed too many games. Hey, Luke, what is your favorite downtown Vancouver restaurant? Kobe Steakhouse. And that is where I'm going to end tonight. You guys, great. Ask me anything questions, but I will continue that for another show. I'll probably do one stream where it's just non-Canucks related, but let's wait till after the season for that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It was great to be here. Canucks win 6-2. Future, a preview of a potential first-round matchup. I was awesome in bowling. Canucks were awesome on the ice. Fans were awesome with the telethon. This community is awesome. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And you can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Vancity Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Liu, Weight Loss Coach. And thanks to the people who went above and beyond tonight. That was So Me Shows, and that was D-Lo with the donations tonight. Thank you. Very grateful to all of you for your support. Don't forget my shows this week, Wednesday and Thursday at 11 p.m. And don't forget to rate the bad joke out of 10. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Love the Canucks. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, and then we can preview the Blues game tomorrow night. And for everyone that was at the game tonight, I'm jealous, but I'm okay with it. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. What do you call a sheep who can sing and dance? What do you call a sheep who can sing and dance? That's Lady Baba. Lady Baba. That was bad. God bless and go Canucks go. Booyah.